everyone, Trace here. Today we're going to be making a double embossed multicolored card. And that just means the double embossing means that we're going to go ahead and run this through a big shot machine just to emboss the paper, which we have here. And then we are going to heat emboss on top of that. So that's the double embossing, but we are going to heat emboss in multicolors. So this is really pretty, and you can see a little bit of the shimmer and shine. And as you can see, I have a different filming setup and some new equipment, so I'm kind of getting used to doing all of this. But it's really fun. If I get out of camera, I apologize. Still getting used to the whole setup. But anyway, and also you're going to need the Emboss It pens. And these are from Ranger. And some Nouveau embossing powders. And of course the Reese Bunny embossing folder here. So let's get started. So I used some 65-pound cardstock. I cut that cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I ran it through my Big Shot with the embossing folder, and I did use 2 sheets of extra paper to act like a shim, to get that really embossed very well and raised up as much as I can without puncturing the paper. So I did run it through there. I experimented a little bit with the shims. I used 2 or 3, and I ended up with using two extra sheets underneath it. And so just play around with those shims and see how the depth of it that you really want to go without actually puncturing the paper itself. So now I'm going to use the clear Embossed pen, and these are really fun because you can actually just kind of color with this pen, and it's going to apply a sticky ink to where you want it, and then you can emboss in just those areas. So with this card here, I used the darker color. It does say chocolate, but it did turn out quite dark. So I'm going to use a different color this time. But it was so much fun. So all you really have to do with your Emboss It pen is just to go over those embossed edges and get nice and full with all of that. You want to go ahead and do the whole section where it is embossed, just the part where it's raised. You don't want to put any ink in the part that it's not raised. You don't want it to be embossed in that area. So go ahead and color in all of the area that you want to color or emboss in that one color. So now you want to go ahead and open up your powder. This one happens to be new. And you want to dump that out into all of the area that you had put that ink. The entire area, which is a pretty large area for this card. And I know it looks a great deal of powder, but we're not going to use all that. And just tap it down, and you can see how well that came. Now if you have some powder left in areas that you don't want, use a paintbrush here and just push that away from the areas that you do not want embossed. And then so you go ahead and take your container and fold your paper in half and go ahead and put it back into that jar. So really you didn't use as much as it appeared initially. So now you're ready to heat emboss. So with your heat tool, you want to heat that up just a few seconds before you apply it to your paper. And then you want to, with a continuous motion, to heat the surfaces of the where you put the powder down. And it's so much fun to watch it actually melt and gloss over. And it will get a little loud, and I apologize, but nothing I can do about that noise. But just continue to move your tool around, and you can magically see how that just melts right down into the paper. I love to watch that melt. It's almost done. And you don't want to overheat it, just enough so you can see that it is melted. I will show you an example of what happens if you overheat it. You can use a different embossing folder, which I did here, but I heated it just a tad too much right there, and it's almost burnt marking, so I'm not going to continue with that one. But you can do that. It was really looking so pretty, and I was so proud of it because of all the different colors, and each word is a different color. But do be very careful that you don't overheat that area or any area. So here is the silver. It's gorgeous. I love it, love it, love it. Now if there are areas that didn't cover, you can very easily take your pen and just do the areas again where you have missed. So it looks like I did miss a few areas, so I'm just going back over those missed places, which is very easy to accomplish. Or if it's just not as prominent as you would like, go ahead and go over it again. Oh, it's looking so good. I like the silver a lot. So once you have the areas that you want done again, go ahead and heat emboss it one more time, and it should cover those nicely. So just dump a little bit more in the areas. Tap it down on your paper. Same process. And use a paintbrush or any kind of small brush, or just a tool, anything that will really take off any of the areas. And then fold down your paper to put it back into your jar here. Don't forget to shut that cover just in case it accidentally spills. We don't want that. So I'll go ahead and heat that again. So next I'm going to move on to the grass areas, and the same process, using my pen just to go over it, and then put some powder down and then heat it, and I will show you the result for the grass. So I've finished with the grass area. Now I'm going to move on to doing the eggs and the flowers in different colors. And the same exact way of doing it, just use your pen and go over it with this clear Embossed pen, and then put down your powder and then heat it. And I will show you the end result. So this is the final project, and all I did was mount it on some fun foam to the card base, and it's so cute, and it just shimmers and shines. Let's see if I can get it to shine for you. It, it really sparkles. It's so fun. So go ahead and get out all of your embossing powders and some of this Embossed pen and have at it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.